I'm fucking sick of this generation. And maybe I just don't get it, right? But there's just this mindset that everyone has that to me is just so stupid. It seems like all everyone ever cares about is gratifying themselves. And what other people are doing is gossip this, gossip that. No one actually wants to put in genuine fucking work. I'm not saying everyone's like this. There is a movement and there is change. But this genuine like modern idea of just being happy. Hang on. The idea is fucking false. Because I think people get being happy mixed up with doing actual work. Like those things can't be put together. Because obviously it doesn't feel nice to get out of bed in the morning. It doesn't feel good to put fucking work in. And it's easy to scroll on fucking TikTok for ages. TikTok pisses me off, man. What even is... I've never once had TikTok, and that's not me standing on some high... Actually, no, I am. What the fuck are you doing with your time on TikTok? What are you doing? You're sat there just scrolling through bullshit. It's funny. The latest trend, TikTok. If you like TikTok dances, if you spend your time watching TikTok dances and fucking things that don't even make you laugh, you look at your phone and you let out a little fucking, what is it, like you breathe a little bit. If that's how you spend your time, you'd be fucking ashamed of yourself. What are you doing with your life? I thought Instagram was bad. And we can't even... This next generation, after mine, right? It's gotten to the point now where colleges and schools are having to teach teenagers how to socialise properly. All right? And I mean more than usual. And the reason is because there's just too much of this. They can't even fucking... Eye contact. Just genuine human interactions is something that, as human beings, we have to learn now. I came off social media, I'd say a year or so ago. Like, completely. I was never really an avid user, but I came off it completely because it wasn't doing good for me. And at first you do feel that fear of missing out, because the thing is, everyone's fucking on it. So you feel like, why shouldn't I be if everyone's on it, right? And then eventually, once your brain recovers from that, you feel like you don't want it at all. But what you do is you analyse the world and you realise how insane everyone is. Like, there will be social gatherings, and this happens so much, and meetups where people won't talk. They'll just sit together next to each other on their phones, and they'll be sending each other TikToks when they're next to each other and they're sending each other TikToks. And maybe I just don't get it. Am I the only one that thinks this is insane? Please tell me there's people out there that actually still enjoy living in the real world, please. And if there's not, then fine. Because I've tried for so long to be accepting of it and to even embrace it. But if this is genuinely the real world, then I'm fine being mostly alone. I've got a few close friends, but even they, like, I have not met. I've seen people online, ironically, on sites such as YouTube, that have really positive movements and that are productive, that meditate, that live in the real world. But in real life, I have not met one person in my generation that is actually fucking conscious and present. Do you know how suffocating that is? I do all this work, and this isn't a pity thing, but I work every day to better myself. And I know that, and I have to be patient, but I know in the future, maybe one day, I will meet a group of people that in my standards at least, I deem as quality. But when I'm doing that, and I'm just constantly surrounded by every walk of, as I get older, still surrounded, but if you're 21 and you have Snapchat, you need to grow up. There's so much I could rant about. This generation can't even take responsibility for themselves. We're so good at condemning other people for making the littlest of mistakes, but we're so terrible, utterly terrible about looking inwards and condemning ourselves, realising that every motherfucker has a prick inside of them, has a cunt inside of them, but we don't want to believe that. My generation loves to say that they're fine, and when someone else shows a glimmer of evil, which by the way is fundamentally in the makeup of every human being, we condemn them, we don't forgive them. There is no forgiveness, there's cancel culture for mistakes. We're trying to get more and more progressive, and at first that was a good thing, but now it's just like how let's just get the most progressive we can. Let's just keep pushing it, and anything that doesn't fit that mold, let's fucking condemn it to the end of the world. That is not a movement, that is a cult. And this all stems from social media, because if you see it on your phone, it must be fucking true, because don't think for yourself, don't have an opinion for yourself, because that actually takes thinking for yourself, doing your research, having an actual fucking conscious mind. No, I saw it on TikTok, so I'm going to believe it. Because TikTok is 2 seconds of pleasure rather than 30 minutes, hours, lifetimes of understanding and knowledge. If you're like me and you exist in this world but think that everyone is fundamentally insane, surrounded by drinking culture, hedonism, and I'm not saying pleasure is a bad thing, of course not, but when it's needless and not constant and there's no direction, it's just that's all you're doing, there's no goal or purpose, then it's just so soulless. And if you are surrounded by that and you feel like me, just keep going. I know sometimes it can seem like you are alone in a world full of mindless apes. But it's not their fault. Just be lucky that you can see, because sometimes it feels like a curse, but it really isn't. In years from now, you will meet quality people. And those few connections will be stronger than lifetimes of loads of people feeling connected, but they can't even have a conversation. That's the irony of it. Keep working on yourself, on your body, on your mind. And years from now, you'll be the one bringing in the quality and the value. I feel like something is going to happen. I don't know what. In the world, something is going to happen, maybe small, maybe big. And people like us, people that can fucking exist properly, I feel like we're going to be needed. I want to just say before this ends, this is not a hate on everything to do with humanity. I feel like it's insane. If you genuinely are content with sitting on TikTok all day, more power to you. But what I think there are so many people that aren't content with that, but they don't know any better. And they're convincing themselves it's okay. There are so many people that exist that want to be better, that want to better themselves, but they don't have the facilities to do so. Sometimes I struggle with that myself, and it is a battle every day, and it is fucking hard to do that, to constantly be on self-improvement, because it's not, you don't wake up and decide to be better. You have to fucking work at it. You might not even see progress for a while. It is so much easier to distract yourself with just fucking bullshit. You are distracting yourself with bullshit that is wasting your time. You only get one life. And I'm going to ask you a question now, and this will determine. And if your answer to this is yes, then fuck off and it's fine. Just fuck off, carry on doing what you're doing. Doesn't matter. But when you are on your deathbed, will you be happy knowing that you spent your entire life on your fucking phone? When you are 50 years old, do you want to look back at all the things you've achieved, proud of something you're leaving behind? Or do you want to look back at just you surrounding yourself in bullshit? That is the question you need to ask, because there will become a time where you will have responsibility. You will be, look, adult is a term that's thrown around, and in the generations before, our grandfathers, our grandparents, they were adults from 18, some of them even younger, they had to work. But us, this generation, you know, the forming brain, especially for men, because we're a bit underdeveloped, it takes years for us to become an adult. I think a man doesn't really become a man if he does it right until he's 30. But you spend your 20s developing yourself. But whether you like it or not, this world sees you as an adult. Do you want to be an adult who can handle responsibilities? Who, if you want that, has a family that look up to you and respect you? Or do you want to be an adult that still spends their fucking time on TikTok all day and can't even motivate themselves to do simple tasks or look after themselves or cultivate basic health needs? That is the question you have to ask. Because there are so many people in my generation that they can't even look after themselves properly. They're not even capable of getting enough sleep, of drinking enough water. They need to go out every weekend because that is the height of life. And if going out every weekend is the height of your life, how can you tell me that's not depressing? If putting fucking poison in your body to escape your reality every weekend, if that is the height of life, if the height of life is escaping life by poisoning yourself, try and tell me that's not fucking depressing, because that is depressing. That is a symptom of depression, you needing to escape every weekend. Oh, but it's fun. Sure. But it's fucking depressing when the only fun you feel is not feeling like you're living in the actual real world. That is fucking depressing and you know it. If you listen to this, I just want to say thank you. If you agree with anything I said, I appreciate you. And if you don't agree with anything I said, I appreciate you too. Ultimately, whoever you are, I hope you're okay. I hope you know you can always improve your situation no matter where you are. Just keep moving forward. Say less, do more.